Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Hello and welcome back to Google Ads Unleashed, guys. Hope everyone is doing fabulously this Monday and is not falling apart in this weather, because it is absolutely roasting. Not so much in the UK, but it is warmer than usual. Europe is absolutely succumbing to a huge heat wave. I'm sure it's very similar in parts of the United States. Maybe it's not so much on the other side of the world, but it definitely is here. And usually that means one thing in e-commerce: it is dead. But not just in e-commerce, obviously it's the same in lead gen, right? A lot of people who have lead gen accounts will generate their leads usually Monday to Friday. I'm saying as a general rule of thumb, for a simple reason, because that's when people are working at their desk. That is when they need B2B services. That's when they Google, and that is when they leave an inquiry with you. And guess what? In summer, a lot of people are off. Simple as that. A lot of people are not in the office. People are deferring decisions to God knows, to maybe Q4 or Q3, end of Q3, etc., etc. It is just not so much going on, and it's completely normal. It's the same every year, right? So for most sort of shops that we do sort of look after, there's of course a lull in summer because demand just goes down. People are on holiday, people use their disposable income to do other stuff, people are more outside in the real life, not on the internet, and they're not being marketed to. As a result, all channels simply just don't work as well. That's just the reality of the situation. So, which is why I wanted to record this episode, because it is, of course, still crucial that you do something about it, okay? So the first thing that I see a lot of brands doing wrong is they're trying to fight it. They're trying to fight it with any desperate measure in order to overcome summer. And the truth is, if you're struggling outside of summer and then it's going really worse in summer, you got a fundamental problem, right? And I know this is maybe an uncomfortable truth to hear, but that is just the matter of the fact. Like, you have to just lean in and let it happen. If there's less search volume, well, so be it. That's just the time then to focus on other tasks and to take a run up in order to really attack in the other parts of the year. So my suggestion is lean in, right? So establish what is going on. You can even go in Keyword Planner for your top, let's say, 5 search terms, which you would normally sort of rank for, and just see what's going on. What is going on in that time period? Are people actually searching less? And if that is normal, well, relax. You're not doing anything wrong, because what I see a lot of people is they flap in that time, right? They start flapping, they start panicking, they change 1,000,001 things that have actually worked before, instead of just realizing there's less demand and being chill about it. The only thing I would say in that time that you can do is maybe try and plan a sale. Try and squeeze out the absolute last thing out of the last at the moment and just run a summer sale, right? Or have a look if it's your brand's birthday. Is it your dog's birthday? I don't give a fuck, quite frankly, right? Any kind of excuse to run a sale and just get the demand going a little bit. So that's what I would do. Just lean in, and in that time just accept that it's going to be a little quieter. As a result, it means pulling the budgets back. It means potentially, if you have to pop up them ROAS targets a slight bit. I'm not a big fan of changing ROAS targets, but too often or at all, or CPA targets. But it is maybe just the time to turn back the dial a little bit and just go into survival mode and just focus on profit a little bit. And it's also then the time where you can actually start focusing on just doing the hygiene work in your ad accounts, okay, and in your business. So what does that mean? So first of all, I would recommend in these sort of times when there's less going on to just cut the fat, right? Go into your Google Ads account and see what is going on and focus on the basics. Look at your conversion tracking. Is everything absolutely fine going on there, right? Have a look if there's no duplicate tracking, that there's no repeat rate going on. Have a look that you're tracking the right stuff. Maybe this is the time to finally focus on a fancy tracking solution that you've had, test something like profit metrics. Or maybe it's the time to, if you have a certain unique challenge, right, to start building something where you can sort of bridge some form of attribution gap. Just audit your tracking first. Second, refresh your customer match lists. Hygiene work, again, go into your audiences, see, is everything working? Have I actually defined all audiences as what they are, like all purchasers properly, all churners? Are there any audiences I can add, right? Just have a look at your data and see what you can do. Next thing, look into your feed. Look if your feed is all right. All product titles good. Can I work on the feed? Can I take some time and just do that? Dive into your merchant center, see if there's any improvements that you can make on there. Next, open up your merchant center. Is there something I haven't checked in a long time? Are settings correct? Do you have a returns policy? Maybe I can work on my shop quality, right? Shop quality is a big part of actually having a profitable Google Ads account, because it's been taken into consideration for your shopping listings if you have that, okay? Next thing you can do is dive into your assets. Maybe they need a refresh, right? Maybe there's some which over time simply haven't really worked that well. I would dive into my assets. I would have a look. Is there anything that I can do in order to refresh maybe a little bit of copy, a little bit of creative, that sort of stuff. It's just a good time to really do all of this sort of hygiene work. Maybe you can also look at other things such as, locations, time of day, because oftentimes what happens is that when things are going well, we like to overlook those which are still adding wasted ad spend to your account. But when times are tough, all of those sort of things matter. And if you just get 1 little % out of every sort of area, in the end, you've improved your efficiency by 10%. You can go through your search term reports, your placement reports, your search partner reports, etc., etc. You can work on your quality scores. You can clean up potential or build better ad groups for your keywords and just write better ads, etc., etc. So I would just focus on really cutting the fat and using that time for hygiene. The next thing that I would do, which is the big lever, is ask myself in those periods, what else can I do to either prevent this in future, or what else can I do in order to generate a bigger sort of constant buzz for my brand, so that we are just, not only betting on not one horse during those sort of times of famine. And what else can I do in order to just, have a bit of a broader setup for next time? And those are my absolute favorite parts, right? So what you could do is, for instance, look at your inventory, right? This is a good time to sort of have a look at your entire inventory. If you use something like profit metrics for a good while, you can dive into your unprofitable products category and think, what the fuck am I going to do with all of that? Is this really in the shop making money, or are these all products I can get rid of and can just find new products? You can do keyword research, find new products that people might want to have for the next half a year, and just restock on other stuff and just sell off your unprofitable products and just swap out your existing inventory. Again, this is part of hygiene, but this is a big lever in your business, right? If you have a quarter of your stock is just lying around or has been advertised unprofitably, get the fuck rid of it. Get rid of it. It's pointless having it, right? So just get rid of it, and you'll be saving yourself a lot of costs in storage, in fulfillment, logistics, etc. And you will of course, become a lot more profitable overall. Also, if you do your keyword research and your product research, not only look what people will buy further down the year, but potentially have a look what people might want next year. Little example, one of our coaching clients sells candles. It's dead right now. No one buys candles. Why would they? It's summer, right? You don't really need candles in summer. However, what they have now already prepped for next year is that they're going to buy candles, or make candles rather, which get rid of flies, because that's been looked for, right? People want to have sort of lemon candles to repel mosquitoes, but also they want candles for instance, christenings and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're going to put that into their portfolio, ready for next year to go for search demand, which appears over summer, which is not as strong before. And for instance, wedding candles as well. So they're going to put that into their portfolio, and that really helps them prepare for the next year. You can also use this time for internationalization, right? Use this time to create your second store in French, for instance, in German, whatever, whichever country you want to target, and invest in your logistics. It doesn't have to be necessarily a lot of money, but at least into setting all of the sort of foundations in order to just have a bit of a broader setup. Because, okay, if you only advertise in the UK and it's not really going so great because it's summer here and demand is down, well, you won't feel the sting as much if you have another country and another country and another country, because overall the revenue is still going to be coming in. This is also the time where you can really sort of think about fundamentally how to position your products better, okay? So what do I mean by that? This is a time where if you feel in the sting right now, it's where you can really assess your site. What is going on? What are my competitors doing? What am I doing to really speak to my audience? Am I, am I actually having a good offer on my products, right? Am I having a good new customer offer that people want to take despite a downswing in demand? Really ask yourself that, because arguably this is potentially one of the most important parts of the business and of the funnel. You can also use this time to focus on your product pages, right? Take your top 10 products, look what can be improved on all of those, and focus on brushing them up, right? Are there any sort of things on the product page which are obviously missing, which are not speaking to, let's say, any sort of hesitation someone could have who is buying it? What are your competitors doing better than you on their product pages, which you are not doing and which you should be offering, etc., etc. So I reckon this is the time to focus on the big levers. I also would recommend that this is a time you use then to look ahead. So although a lot of people are trying to firefight and are panicking, my recommendation would be to look ahead. Start preparing for Q4 and what you want to be doing there in order to ramp up for then. Okay, lots of people are leaving this much too late until August, September, October, and arguably it's already much too late then. Okay, they're not thinking about what their offer is going to be. They don't know what their strategy is going to be. Now is the time to do all of that and prep ahead. And I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. This is what I would do in summer. This is what we are doing in summer. We lean into it, just accept that it's a lower time, maybe organize a couple of sales in order to counteract the situation and do a bit of more retention marketing. We use this time for hygiene. We audit our accounts. We optimize everything there is to optimize, from all sorts of placements, from campaign settings. We cut the budgets. We optimize all assets and make them new. We refresh our first party data. We make sure our feeds are banging. We make sure our conversion tracking is great. And we are setting now the foundations to focus on the large levers, which will not only help us in the good times, but also set us up for the next year. And that is more products that are being bought around this time of year. Do research in order to buy in that kind of stock. Work on our offer. Our new customer offer needs to be 100% good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in a situation where summer is a more difficult time. And we are cutting the fat also within the shop. We're getting rid of products that are not working. We're getting rid of like even campaigns potentially and stuff that is not working. And we are working on internationalization and product page optimization in order to come back stronger than ever. Yeah, and if you're feeling the sting right now as well, I would absolutely love to chat to you and see if we can turn it around for you. You just have to message me at jeremy@younganddigital.marketing. You can also reach me on LinkedIn, Jeremy and Google Ads. You'll find me there. Or you can hop on the website and book a 30-minute consultation with me. If you are a media buyer and listening to this, I want you to basically listen up right now, because I've got some big news. We have a new position at the agency. We're looking for a senior media buyer who knows Google Ads in and out, and I would love to chat to you. If this is you, send your CV to me at the addresses I just mentioned. I would love to have a chat with you. A couple of requirements: you have to be based in the UK, please, right? No one from abroad, please. And you have to have at least 3 years of experience. If that is you, chat to me, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. This has been Jeremy Young, your personal Google Ads expert, and I wish you a happy and productive week ahead.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. To connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. We'll see you next time.